Okay, back by popular demand. This is at Albury J reporting live from outside the Ecuadorian Embassy in London. I've done this a few times already, but I know there's going to be a lot of new people tuning into the feed, so just to give you some perspective on the geography of where this embassy is in London. It's an area called Knightsbridge in the London Borough of Chelsea, which is quite a well-heeled area. There's a lot of embassies, etc. around here. Just in shot there is the very well-known department store Harrods, and if I scan just to the left, this right in front here that I'm heading towards now is the Ecuadorian Embassy. I think also contained in this building is the Colombian Embassy as well. It's in the they use the same door, though obviously they have separate premises inside. Okay, I'm on the steps of the embassy, as there has been since I arrived here at almost exactly midnight. There's 3 ordinary standard UK Metropolitan Police officers. It's my understanding that they've been there pretty much for the last 2 months. Not the same ones, obviously. I'm sure they would have worked in shifts. But the reason for that would almost certainly be because Mr. Assange has breached his bail conditions. He's currently bailed and was required to report, I think, once per week to a named London police station. Because he hasn't done that in the last couple of months, he's in breach of his bail conditions. So if he were to step outside the embassy, they're there waiting for him. And the only scenario I can think at all likely in that situation is that he would be arrested for breach of his bail conditions, if nothing else. Now, I'm not saying that that's right or wrong, I'm just telling you what the facts are. Okay, the camera now is pointed towards, it's a dead-end side street. Sorry, there was a sneeze in the background there. There's a dead-end side street. There's only one way in, one way out, and I'm standing right in front of it. I don't know how well this will come out with the resolution and with the light, but there's a police line here which I cannot cross, but down there's one police wagon, several police officers inside, and down there is a side door which over the last 4 or 5 hours, yeah, nearly 5 hours now, I've seen several police officers move in and out of. They haven't gone in using any force at all. The door's been opened for them. They've walked in, walked out pretty freely. Now, I can't confirm this obviously because I haven't been inside, but it's my understanding that when they're going inside there, although they're in the embassy building, they're not within the embassy itself, and they're there by invite. My understanding is that Mr. Julian Assange is inside that building at the moment, awaiting the official announcement from the Ecuadorian government, which is due at 7 AM their capital time, Quito, and that would be 1 PM in London, UK. The time here is now just coming up to 5 AM. I'm just going to say a couple of things, and people can say this is self-promotion or whatever. I don't really care. It's my stream. If you don't like it, you can always come and do your own. There's nothing to stop you. If you want to add my Twitter feed, it's at AlburyJ, ALBURYJ. That's not an ego thing. It's just if you want to keep up to date with the news, whenever I start a fresh broadcast, I automatically tweet from there. So it's at AlburyJ, ALBURYJ, all as one word. And if you add me to your Twitter, then my feed automatically updates whenever I start a fresh broadcast. So you can keep yourself informed that way if you want to. If not, don't. I don't care. I've just seen that comment there. Welcome back. Don't break Bambuser again. I'm going to say it wasn't me. It was all you guys wanting to watch the news. I'm really not too sure how well these are going to come out because it's pretty dark, and I know that the resolution on the streams are relatively low, but I keep the resolution a little bit low to try and keep the flow better so that the audio and pictures aren't so choppy. We don't have 4G networks in the UK. We're stuck with 3G for the next year or two at least, so there's not too much more that can be done about that situation at the moment. Yeah, there's a couple of mainstream cameras here, and there's been a couple of reports. BBC were here earlier. I'm not sure who that is over there now. But in all honesty, it's been relatively low-key. There hasn't really been much to see. There's always been the possibility that something might, you never know. Hey.
What time is it?
Yeah, I'm just being asked by a few people, like, as late as I can possibly stay here is 8 AM UK time, so that's 3 hours from now. As much as anything, because
that's good.
I've got.
I can cover from then on.
You can cover from then on.
Basically, I'm charging my battery, so I apologize for whoever was watching my channel. My battery went dead, so I'll be back when Jamie will be leaving. 8 o'clock in the morning, or maybe before, depends on the battery charge.
Okay, so yeah, you've got that message there. The Occupy News Network feed should be able to pick this back up from when I have to stop. I've got some responsibilities that I have to attend to, much as I'd love to stay. I might well be able to get back down a little bit later in the day. Since I've been offline, I don't think too much has happened. There's certainly been people here covering it. I've been keeping an eye on them, and I certainly would have been told if Mr. Assange had left or been removed from the building. It's great to see on the chat feed there. I'm seeing it run through on my screen. It's brilliant seeing that there's so many people from like literally every corner of the globe watching. And my message is, if this is the first time you've watched a live stream, or even if it isn't, remember that together we can make mainstream media irrelevant. It's my own personal opinion that the mainstream media, to more or less an extent, not necessarily always the case, but a large part of the time, they're selective about what news they report. And what I'd encourage people to do is, if you're fortunate enough to have access to a smartphone, and you have unlimited data, then download a live streaming app to your phone. Personally speaking, my preference is for this channel, Bambuser, although others are available, of course. And if something happens near you, because this is just a newsworthy item that happened near me, then you have the ability to hop onto your app and stream it live to the world. And if as many people as possible can do this, then it makes mainstream media irrelevant. We'll just keep the news going ourselves. 24-hour rolling news channels aren't really necessary when you have a group of citizens who can pick up the coverage and basically give you unfiltered content. If people are getting a lot of lag, it's very likely because Bambuser's servers are straining a bit. You can try hitting the refresh button on your browser. Very often that sorts it out. Okay, White Geekster. I'm saying hi to you over the mic. Hello, and thank you very much for watching. Now, I've obviously got a lot of new viewers who've never watched my feed before, but I have been live streaming activism in London, UK, pretty much since the Occupy movement started over here, October the 15th, 2011. Over that time, I've learnt a few things about streaming and what's useful and what's not. I'm going to make a small plea here, but don't feel bad if you can't help out. I've got an additional extended life battery, which gives me about 3 hours use. I've used a good chunk of that already. I've just been able to get somewhere to give it a little bit of a boost, but not as much as I would like. Ideally, I'd like to have 2 or 3 battery packs so I can play with something for 9, 10, 12 hours. As many, well, I can play with it for as long as I've got battery for, really. There's a guy delivering the newspapers here. Yeah, a guy just delivered the newspapers. They go onto the steps. So, as I was saying, if you have a look at my Twitter, which is @AlburyJ, ALBURYJ, on my profile page on there, I've got a link to something called Flatter. And Flatter is basically a new way to make micro donations. So rather than donating £5, $5, $10, $20, £20, whatever, you can just click a button, the Flatter button, which is just underneath the video for this feed off of the Bambuser page. And if you put sort of like say $5 in your Flatter account for the month, and then you click the Flatter button 3 different times for, well, so 2 different times for 2 different things, then each of those would receive $2.50. I'm probably not explaining it very well, but if you check out flatter.com, FLATTR.com, that will explain all. I much prefer it to PayPal. And it's an interesting new way to make micro donations, because basically, rather than single people donating, like, you know, relatively large amounts of $50, $100, that kind of thing, it'd be great if everybody could get together, help buy some battery packs for me and other live streamers just by doing micro donations. So say you put, say, £1 or $1 into your Flatter account, then you can split that $1 up between, say, 10 different things which interest you that you think are good. Hit the Flatter button and it will divide them up for you automatically. Interesting, worth investigating. As I say, you don't have to do that. Just in a question now asking, how do we know Assange is in the building? Well, the truth is that I can't actually independently confirm that, because I can't get in the building. I haven't seen him in there. There have been a few people who have come to the curtains. Mr. Assange hasn't been one of them that I've recognised. But I do have reasonable cause to believe that he's in there, because there's an area here. I'm not sure how well this is going to come out with the light, but there's a barriered area here, and there's been people keeping a 24-hour vigil pretty much since he's been here, and there's all kinds of signs attached to it. I say things like "Protect Assange," "We are social beings designed to work together," join WLFriends.org, "Free Julian," "Thank you Julian Assange," "Thank you WikiLeaks," "We are still here," big one there, "Free Assange," like a stenciled picture. It says "Defend WikiLeaks, defend freedom of speech." I know these aren't going to come out very well because it's a bit too dark at the moment. In daylight they'll probably look a little bit better, and as the sun comes up, which will be fairly soon, then I'll give them another run over so you can get a better view. Yeah, for those of you that feel minded to, I have requested an interview with Mr. Assange, but I don't have any contacts within WikiLeaks or to Mr. Assange himself. I don't have a direct line or anything. But you never know. One of the people watching this might do, and if they do, then please get in contact with me. I did ring the buzzer on the door earlier. Police were happy to allow me to do that, and there was no response to it. So a few people earlier were tweeting at WikiLeaks on Twitter as well, basically saying, how about give Attlebridge an interview, which I think would be a really nice thing, because I'm not a mainstream media organisation. I've got no agenda. I haven't even prepared any questions. I'd basically just have to wing it, but I'd be happy to do that, and it would certainly be a different way of doing things.
Just wait for shelter to open. I'll give me back.
Yeah, right.
I will have promised.
Yeah.
I rang the doorbell, but no answer.
Yeah, I had the same thing earlier. So I have the camera trained on it at the moment. I'll also bring those of you who are not aware yet of the situation as I understand it, the diplomatic situation, and that is basically that the UK authorities can't enter onto the actual embassy itself, although they've been inside the building. If they were to do so, it would essentially be an invasion of foreign sovereign territory, and although I can't be certain, you never know, I can't guarantee that the UK authorities won't do that, but I have to say that I think it's extremely unlikely, because it would spark one hell of a diplomatic row. But what I did hear earlier, and this is an internet rumour, so please do treat it as such, we know what internet rumours are like, that the UK authorities might seek to revoke the Ecuadorian embassy's diplomatic status. And if they did that, then the police could very well enter and arrest Mr. Assange. Now, as far as arresting Mr. Assange goes, because I've been asked a few times about, whether he's a rapist or not, here's my own personal view on it. I have absolutely no idea. I wasn't there when the alleged incident happened. I haven't seen any of the evidence. All I've had basically is hearsay from the mainstream media, and that essentially is all any of us have had, so I'm not judged in any way, shape or form to say whether he's guilty of any alleged crimes. And I think anybody who says he is a rapist or he isn't a rapist should really have a think about that. The truth is, at the moment, it's unknown. I'm just seeing somewhere saying this is not live. I can assure you that it is. As a for instance, to prove that it's live, I'll tell you the next comment that I can see. Okay, sorry, lol. Yeah, you got it. It is live. That's a great way to test. You can't do that with the mainstream media. That's why I encourage people to ditch mainstream media and get into either creating your own citizen journalism, ideally, or if you don't have the time or the means to be able to do that, then keep an eye on citizen journalism. Yeah, I'm really humbled by the kind comments that I'm getting, the likes of hero and thank you so much. I'm really, really humbled by that. I can assure you that I'm not a hero or anything. I'm just a guy who happens to be in the area, believes that this is a story of global interest, and having had an awareness of activism in London since Occupy started here, as I mentioned earlier, October the 15th, that the mainstream media, due to more or less an extent, filter what you get to see. And battery run-outs and connection glitches aside, I can only give you my assurance that I just try to give you what I can see as far as I possibly can. I think it was Nietzsche who said there is no such thing as truth, only perspective. And that's an expression that I'm really, really keen on. You can ask two different people who saw the same thing and they'll give you completely different stories, and it's not necessarily that either one of them is lying. It's just that that was their truth, the way they saw it at that time. Okay, the questions and the comments obviously run through really, really fast, so I apologise if you're posting something on there for me and I don't see it because my gaze is diverted elsewhere at a particular time, so it's not personal. Please don't take it as such. The same goes to the Twitter feed as well. It's a little bit of a surprise to me because earlier on I had just slightly under 500 followers, and now all of a sudden I've got nearly 3,000. It's a bit of a new experience for me, so I'm kind of like learning too, so bear with me. I'm not ignoring anyone, it's just simply a case of I'll let this van pass. Yeah, it's not the case that I'm ignoring anyone or anything like that, it's just that it literally comes through, there's so much of it so fast that I'm only human, I can only deal with so much at any one time. I've just seen a question there, are they leaving? My answer to that would be no. There's been police vans coming and going pretty much all night. The police take a rest for their breaks and stuff like that. One way or another, despite some brief breaks, me and other streamers, we try to keep the footage as extensive and as in-depth as possible. Okay, one of the questions I've seen there is Occupy their live streaming. I can tell you that Occupy News Network are and have been around, and they've been streaming from ustream.tv/Occupy News Network. It's something to that effect anyway. They're currently offline. I think they've gone to look to get somewhere to get their battery charged. I also saw a question on there about have I tried ringing the embassy. No, I haven't, but I can tell you that I have tried pressing the buzzer on the outside, and it was ignored. I guess, because I was suggesting to people that they could try tweeting at WikiLeaks if they'd invite me in for an interview. Thus far to date, that hasn't worked. But perhaps if somebody feels like ringing the embassy on my behalf and asking, because I can't make a phone call and stream at the same time. So if anybody would like to ask on my behalf, say it's the guy outside in the cream-coloured top with the green backpack holding a mobile phone up. If they want to ask me to come inside, I'll be more than happy to do that, and I'll put as many of your questions as I can to Mr. Assange, if you'd be happy to have an interview. Just seen a question there, how many hours left until the announcement? Well, the time here in London is 5:15, that's 1:05 AM, and the announcement is due at 1 PM UK time. So by my maths, bearing in mind I've been up all night, so my brain is a little bit fuzzy, I would say that makes it 6 3/4 hours until the announcement. No, sorry, 7 3/4 hours. That's what being up all night does for you. Yeah, I saw a question about the guy on the balcony. I saw two guys on there. I'm just going to get it in shot. There were two guys on this balcony earlier. One of them had a camera, and it was a video camera, and on it had a sticker for the Tor network, which is Onion network, which those of you who might want to investigate how you can protect your privacy online, that's TOR. So I'm assuming that there's something to do with WikiLeaks. Guys, can I ask you a question? There were some guys at the balcony earlier. Did anybody hear what they said? Could you hear what they were saying?
I know one of them, the guy with the camera, said he wasn't Ecuadorian. Apart from that, I didn't hear much.
Okay, in case that didn't come out, the guy that had the camera said he wasn't Ecuadorian, but apart from that he didn't say much.
He's on Ecuadorian embassy or something.
Are you Ecuadorian?
No, Greek.
Oh, you're Greek, okay. Do you mind doing an interview? We're on live stream.
Yes, of course, I have no problem. Just here randomly, but I will need to answer some questions.
Okay.
What I think is happening here, basically. This is a clear violation of national sovereignty. Now, this in the old days, and even now, can be formally considered a region of war. This thing what is happening here right now. But of course, the powers that be do this when it suits them. Basically, people that reveal the truth simply cannot be stand to continue. They have to be destroyed. Even after they did what they did, they have to be destroyed for other people to go and be more disciplined. Simple. This guy Assange, he basically ridiculed the whole system, everything.
Okay.
They can't possibly let this guy. I don't believe they're doing it for vengeance or something. They're doing it to deter other people from doing what he did.
Okay.
That's what I believe is happening here. And unfortunately, it's a very unfortunate fact that it's only us here right now. I mean, this involves everyone. Many people should be here today.
Yeah.
And especially many people who claim to be revolutionaries, socialists, or anything like that. Where are they? Where is the SWP? Where are the so-called Marxists of the UK? Where are they? I see no one here.
Maybe a little bit too early in the morning for them?
Yeah, maybe they have to go to sleep to be able to go to the opera tomorrow.
Okay, well, so comments there. I know a lot of people will share your views. There's some people who won't as well, but it's nice that there's a platform for people to have their say. That's what this is all about. So, tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a seat on the curb. Yeah, I just heard a comment there about flashlights are pretty cheap, yo. And yeah, I totally appreciate what you're saying. They are pretty cheap, and I do have one. But would you believe this? I just heard some news on Twitter, and I just grabbed my phone and a battery pack and just got down here as quick as I could. I'll bear your advice in mind for next time, and I'll bring a torch with me. Sorry, I don't have quite the money for professional equipment like major media conglomerates do. So this is a little bit on the fly. We have to make things up as we go along. But thank you very much for your comment. I just saw a question there asking about, could I basically just clarify what the Greek guy said, and he was saying essentially that he thinks it's a disgrace that British authorities might seek to intrude on another nation's sovereign territory, and he's also questioning why there aren't more people here to support Mr. Assange. He's asking where are the SWP and various other UK activist organisations. So at the moment, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm counting around about 7 activists here at the moment, and around about 4 or 5 mainstream cameras ready to roll in case something does happen. I guess my response to that kind of be is there's been talk about this on the internet all night, and it'll probably carry on through into the morning. I would imagine there'll probably be some numbers turn up here as London wakes from its slumber. Pretty early in the morning here, 20 past 5, and it's a weekday. I guess, you know, people have got jobs, responsibilities, etc. Just in the comment there, Rit89 say hi to Tammy. Tammy, Rit89 from the internet wanted me to say hi to you. She says hi back, Rit89. Okay, I've just seen a question there about where is the embassy in London. It's in Knightsbridge, the London, well, the Royal Borough of Kensington and Chelsea. Just walk over to the street sign over here. Makes a change of view. Oh, there we go. Somebody's put the address up. It's 3 Hands Crescent, SW1. Sorry, I don't know what the rest of the postcode is, but hopefully this will come out clear enough. Hands Crescent, number 3 Hands Crescent, SW1. Okay, I've just seen a question about how many side entrances. I can tell you I'm going to walk around. This is the right hand side of the building as you face it. Okay, there's one gated off, locked behind a barrier doorway there. And I don't think this is part of the same building. That one says 3C, so I don't think that's anything to do with the embassy. So quite likely this one here. And there is a side entrance which in my opinion, is probably the most likely place where something's going to happen, if anything happens at all. And the other side entrance is this one here. It's currently behind police tapes, which I'm just trying to do a close-up of there. So I can't go down there, but it's a dead end. This is the only way in or out. There's one police van down there, and I've seen police officers go in and out of a side entrance down there on numerous occasions through the night. No force used. They appear to have been willingly allowed in and out of the building. I've just been asked why can't I go down there. It's because it's got a police line, do not cross tape on it. I don't have a press pass or anything like that, so there's every likelihood that I'll be arrested if I walk down there. I'll certainly be threatened with arrest. In any case, I can see perfectly well from here. I'm sorry if it doesn't come out very well on the feed, but that's a light and resolution issue, but that will improve now the sun's starting to come up, dawn is starting to break. Okay. Right, next thing to let you know is my battery is now starting to fade. So I think it would be prudent for me to end this broadcast here. There really isn't anything to see at the moment. You've got a few people sitting and waiting. You've got some cops on the door. I've got full view of everything, so I will start the stream back up as soon as something happens, but in order to conserve battery power as far as possible, I'm going to end the stream here. If you want to help for certainly future streams, check out Flatter, as I mentioned earlier, flatter.com/profile/AlburyJ, ALBURYJ. And if you want to consider making a micro donation on there, then that would go towards additional battery packs, which help me run the stream for longer. So that's a really cool way where everybody can donate 10 English pence, 10 cents, whatever your currency is. It's much better for 1,000 people to donate 10 cents than it is for a few people to donate a couple $100 each. If we share the load, then none of us really notice. So please do check out Flatter, FLATTR.com/profile/AlburyJ, ALBURYJ. And one last reminder, if you want to add my Twitter feed, it's @AlburyJ, and if you do that when the broadcast recommences, then you'll be the first to know. Right, so I'm going to finish it up here just as a battery conservation exercise. There really isn't anything to see. I'm going to keep on Twitter, so if people have got questions for Twitter, then I'll certainly respond to as many of those as I can on there. It's a battery thing.
Yeah. Mine's just charging up, so
Okay.
if yours goes and mine charges, we can flip it to mine.
Yeah, okay.
Bambuser, anyway.
I'm using Bambuser, yeah.
It's Bambuser. So if yours goes, mine will be on at some point.
Okay.
Which is Tammy Sammy OLSX.
Okay, you hear that, everybody? It's right. Tammy there has got a smartphone too. So what is it again?
Tammy Sammy OLSX.
Right, and Samid is spelled S-A-M-E.
Yeah, S-A-M. Don't even ask to know their fucking name. S-A-M-E-D-E.
Yeah, okay. So it's
OLSX.
Tammy Samid OLSX.
Change that, 'cause you don't have to buy the London Stock Exchange now.
Yeah, you might want to consider changing it. But, okay, there are other streamers here, but... Oh yeah, I've got a request. Tammy's suggesting that perhaps somebody might want to ring a taxi firm, give them the address, a taxi for Julian Assange.
What is it? What is the address?
It's number 3, Hands Crescent,
Yeah.
SW1.
Ring the taxis. Then all the taxis will turn up going, taxi for Julian. And the police will get, no, do it, because we need some entertainment, we're a bit knackered.
How many screen messages do you get?
Gazillions.
It's just a permanent stream
How
of
many
screen
messages?
messages.
Yeah, just for independent verification, can you tell me how... Oh, sugar. Can you tell me how quickly that screen, how quickly the messages come up?
Guys, there's no point in typing any messages onto the screen. It's just going, whee! You'll see on the side of the screen.
Yeah, it does scroll through pretty fast, so I just pick out ones as I see them. Rit89, I saw you there. Tammy Samid OLSX, yeah, you had that correct.
Can one person just confirm, just to cheer me up and just encourage me, can just one of you confirm, yeah, call a taxi.
Right.
Name is Julian, at number 3, Hans, what is it?
Hands Crescent.
Hans Crescent, London. Number 3, Hans Crescent, London,
You're
name
ordering
is
a taxi to
Julian.
pick up Julian
Please,
Assange.
just to cheer me up.
Okay, the request is out there. Nobody's said that they're going to do it yet.
No, don't say it on there, just do it.
Okay. Well, you've heard the request there from Tammy. Please call a taxi for Julian. The address of the Ecuadorian embassy here in London. Okay, so I'm going to sign off the feed here for now to conserve battery. I'll have a look at Twitter now and then because it doesn't use as much battery, and I can kind of keep an eye on things there. Don't forget to add my feed if you want to be updated when my stream starts again. Thank you very much for everybody that's watched so far, both my stream and the other one that's been running, Tammy's and the Occupy News Network feed. I've had loads of really, really kind comments about my coverage, so I really do appreciate those. I thank you everyone from the bottom of my heart, and I'm extremely humbled by it. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much for watching. Bye for now.